For us at Kesman Exchange. All at the best rate, we are real agency 24 hours 7 days a week, all transaction under 10 minutes. Easy, safe, fast and reliable. Contact us now on WhatsApp at 0810-328-0712.
NAIJAXTREME.
NAIJAXTREME.
NAIJAXTREME. NAIJAXTREME blog, the most online visited platform that delivers global news,
Entertainment,
sports,
unique fashion,
and of course,
gossip.
My sister, you too like Ofofo.
Hey, why I no go like Ofofo?
For your latest news, visit www.naijaextreme.com.
For advert placement and promotion,
Email us at naijaextreme1@gmail.com.
Hello, viewers at home. Welcome again to Niger Extreme TV. Yes, it's us here, all the way from Maryland, USA. It's always an awesome time on the show. We're always looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. Everyone else is looking forward to it. And today is going to be another interesting yet intense
Nice having you guys on the show.
on the show today. So we're looking forward to your comments as usual, to your opinions. We're just really looking forward to having you on the show, and we're glad that you're there already.
And the topic we'll be treating today will be so interesting, and really want you guys to contribute to the show today because most people are going through what we're about to treat today, and a lot of people might benefit from this. Please hit the share button and share this post. Let people see it because you might just save someone from being depressed out there. The topic we'll be treating today is about depression, how depression forms in a marriage. How depression forms in a marriage, and even those who are not married yet, this will be a great opportunity for them to really know how to deal with their themselves, their relationship, in order not to go into depression. So we will really appreciate it if you can hit the share button and share it and let everybody enjoy it. Bisola, let the show begin.
Yeah, so I'm your host, Bisola, and here with me is also my favorite host, co-host, Jai. Today we're going to be talking about depression, like she said. It's a serious topic. It's not a funny topic.
It's not a joke.
We're not here to make light of people that have gone through this and have, gone to the extreme of it, which usually is suicide. People have suicidal thoughts, they get depressed, there are all kinds of symptoms
A
to
lot
it,
of
and
stuff
then
is
they've
going
gotten
on.
to that point where they said, I cannot take it anymore. We're not making light of this situation, we're not making light of the topic. We are here to discuss depression in its entirety. So if you're married, it's going to be beneficial to you. If you're not married, you're going to learn something as well, and how to help yourself, how to manage it, how to see the symptoms. A lot of people don't know the difference
They do
between
not identify it
mood
on time.
swings and depression. Sometimes they're
Exactly.
depressed and they think, you know what, I just have mood swings. And we need you to know the symptoms when you see it. We need you to be able to, help a
Differentiate.
friend, be able to look out for people around you. You see your friend going through something, you see the symptoms, because you know
Know
what the
it.
symptoms
You
are,
identify it on
you will
time.
be able to identify it. You see your friend, you can say, oh yeah. I think you're depressed. I think you should talk to someone. I think you should do this, because you're able to see the symptoms.
signs.
And we are here to let you know that depression is not just for men,
It's
not
real.
just for women. Children get depressed too.
Anyone.
So we're here to give you the full spec of depression. We might not be able to cover it all. We have an hour, and an hour is not enough to tell you how huge, how important, how severe depression can be and what you need to do. But we're going to try our best, hit the nail on the head and get things done. We did not put a poll out on Facebook like we used to do, because this topic is not a topic where
We want people to say yes, no, I think, I do
not
not.
really, but because it's so serious that most people don't, they don't know how serious it is. I've heard people say, well, if you kill yourself or if you do this, it's your fault. And I'm like, okay, this is a mental health issue. It's not a joke. If someone is telling you that I think I am depressed, I would tell you that you should take that seriously.
Well, do you
Don't
really,
laugh about it.
that is it. Do you know on social media, some people actually put out the post before they commit the suicide, and people just laugh at them. People just say, "Oh, kill yourself. Who you help?"
Social media
All
is the
kind of
meanest
stuff.
place on earth.
And
If
before
you
they
take
know
your
it,
opinions from
yeah, before they
all
know
this
it,
riffraffs on social media, then that's your problem. There's someone sitting down in his room that has nothing.
yeah.
And you that have the whole world, that have things going on for you, and you're going through something, and then you put it on social media, and you will be surprised at the response from people. And because we're off, there are people, we know our resilience level is different.
Different, definitely.
How I can my coping skills, how
It's
I can
different
cope with things
from
is different
others.
from how you can cope. So because of that, someone says something to me on social media and I don't know how to
To
just
react,
push
push
it
it out.
away and just not feel. And someone else is like, you know what, never mind. And these people that type stuff have no idea. They just say things. Some of them are dumb, very dumb. You know what? We have a lot we're going to be discussing on the show today. So let's just go right into it. So, what is depression? That's the first question. What exactly is depression? Depression is a mood disorder. It's not normal. Don't let anyone tell you that,
It's
oh, you're
normal.
going through this, it's fine, you'll be
It's
fine.
normal.
It's
Everyone
normal.
goes through that now.
Mm-mm. Depression
It's
is
different.
not normal. It is classified under the DSM-5. It is classified as a mood disorder. It is a disorder. So when you're depressed, it's a form of disability on its own that you are feeling things. It's a mental disorder. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, you'll be fine. It's okay. You'll be all right. No, it's
It's beyond
described as a
that.
feeling of sadness, feeling of loss.
Anger.
It could be anger. It could be anxiety. Serious sadness. You're just sad.
For no reason.
You just look at life and it's like
You're tired of everything
you
going on.
are. You're just tired. You're just sad. You're scared. You feel lost. It's like everything is not working the way they
It
should
has to do
to
with a
you.
lot of stuff, though.
Yes.
A lot.
So it's a feeling of sadness, of loss, of anger that interferes. Remember, it interferes with your personal everyday activity.
Activities. Mm.
People go through grief. People lose people in their lives, and then they're grieving
Worrying.
over it. And for a certain period of time, they feel that loss. Oh, I love my mother, or I love my grandfather, and my grandfather is gone,
There's
and
no
I'm
more.
feeling lost and feeling sadness. At that point in time, you're expected to grieve because you have lost
Lost a
something,
loved
but it's
one.
not affecting your everyday activity. This is what depression does to you. You feel loss, you feel grief, you feel sadness, and it is affecting your day to day
Activity. Wow.
activity. And it is fairly common. Depression is common. Can you believe that?
Especially in America where we are, it's very, very common. You see it everywhere.
It is. And depression can affect every aspect of your life, affect
Definitely.
your relationship. If you have any health condition before and depression sets in,
It
I can
increases
guarantee you it spikes. Like it goes from 0 to 100.
100 to next level
That's what happens.
immediately.
Depression doesn't come to play with you.
No.
When you're depressed, everything in your life takes the shape. Like everything in your life begins to have an effect. It begins to have a resemblance of what you're going through. You know. So if you have asthma, it becomes crazy. If you have cardiovascular disease, it becomes. If you have cancer and you're depressed, it's like it becomes immediate. Everything that's supposed to get better and all of it becomes worse, because that's what depression does. Now we have all kinds of depressive symptoms, and we're going to be giving them to you so you know what depressive symptoms
Yeah,
are.
in case you see it in anyone, in a loved one, you quickly identify that this person is being depressed and look for solution to the person's problem.
So depression is more. I said it earlier in the show that mood swing is different from depression. Um, It's just like talking about burnout and trauma. Burnout, it's like it develops over time. It's for a short period of time, but it develops over time. It's like I went to work. This is more of um my work, my boss at work, my co-workers, all of this coming together to make me feel tired. Burnout is a form of tiredness. But when you have trauma is there. It comes from your short-term memory, goes to your long-term memory, and it affects you. You are looking for ways to cope with it. So it's the same thing with mood swings and depression. Mood swing is different. You come back from work, you just don't want to talk to anybody.
Anybody.
At that moment, you don't want to do anything. You just want to go to you want to be by yourself because you
That's
know
mood
what?
swing.
What I'm feeling right now, I just need to get it over with by myself. You can just mood swing can come from being burned out. You're just tired from work. You're anxious about something. That's mood swing. So it's depression is different from feeling blue. You know what? I'm just under the weather. I don't want.
Depression goes beyond
It goes beyond that.
just thinking.
It goes beyond
It
that.
goes beyond. It's
It
a
affects
very
your
deep
mood.
way that
It affects your body.
everything, your system, everything.
Now there are symptoms of depression in men, in women, and then in children. Now, this is not we're not categorizing it differently because men are the upper this thing and women are this. No, it's because our body is, it's all we're all equipped differently. Our make is different. Our physiological make is different. Our biological make is different. And as a woman, what you would experience when you're depressed might be is different
Because we have a way.
from what
The men have a way of taking things easy more than women.
Not all men have a way of taking it easy. It's just that it's different because of our biological make, our physiological make, and all of that.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That they
So
have a way of
there are men
enduring.
that cannot take things easy. There are men that are even worse than some women. Some women are stronger than men.
Definitely, I agree with that too.
Yeah. So for men, one of the things to look out for is their mood. And when your mood becomes aggressive, you get
Beyond
to
how it is
be
before.
you become more you're annoyed. You like your anger
Any
level
little
is
thing
over. You're just angry over
triggers you.
anything. You become aggressive. You become irritable. Every little thing they say to you is like, "Will you shut up? I don't want to." You're irritating me. When you become irritable, this is for men. You become anxious, and I wanted to bring a material here to talk about, but a lot of people these days says I'm anxious. We use that. Anxious is not a word that is being totally accepted in society. So you can say, "Oh, I'm a little anxious." "Oh, how are you feeling today? Yeah, I'm just a little anxious. I'm just a little anxious." And everybody, accepts that. But your anxious could be, you know what, right now, I am so scared.
Maybe phobia or something.
It could be phobia, it could be pain, it could be, you know what? I just want to do high risk things right now. I want to do crazy things. That could be I'm a little bit anxious. But because the society has done it in such a way that anxious is a
Everything,
word
they generalize
that
it
we
in
all
one
can
way.
use. So people say, you know what? I'm just
You get
a
over
little
it.
anxious. You get over. You're just a little anxious. Don't worry. You'll be fine. So you become anxious. You become restless. When your mood moves from someone that is quietly doing things to you're restless. Every
Being
time
aggressive, restless.
it's like I just need to get this done. Something needs to happen. You're restless. You cannot be at one point. You cannot sit down. You can when your mood becomes that, you need to look out for it. It could be depression.
Like setting in,
Yes, that is quietly knocking on your
gradually
door.
setting in.
Knocking on your door. Another thing to look out for is your emotional state. And when your emotional state as a man becomes the feeling of emptiness, you just feel empty. You don't want to do anything. You don't see any reason to keep going. You know, people look in themselves and be like, I don't feel fulfilled. Like,
Definitely,
yeah,
all those who are depressed, they always have something to tie it on.
yeah,
They might come out with, "Oh, everything I'm doing seems impossible."
yes,
They always find something to tie it on. Like they might say, "Oh, it's because of my education, it's not going fine. this is not going on well, my job is not this, is not that. They always find something to say. Just to, like, how do I put it? Something to tag the depression on.
Yeah, because something is going on. They just don't know what it is.
Everyone have problem. We all have our
Yeah,
problems.
we do. I agree with
You
you on that.
understand? So if you are a kind of person that ties your problem on one particular thing, like you take it too personal,
Personal.
too difficult than it is, then you need to check yourself. We all are not clean from.
Nobody's
We all
perfect,
have
and that is
everything.
why you need to look at yourself for things that begin to look extraordinary.
Ordinary, yeah, that's the word.
So, feeling of emptiness, feeling of sadness, feeling of hopelessness. If your emotional state begin to feel hopeless, you begin to feel all of that emptiness and sadness, you should check yourself. You might be getting depressed. Another thing is your behavior. And when your behavior becomes, you lose interest in things, something that used to drive you. Maybe you're someone that
Something you
loves
love to do.
politics, and
Just
all of
get
a
tired
sudden
of
you're
it.
just like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. Or someone that loves soccer a lot, every time it's the soccer season, this person is on it, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, they're playing today.
That's why we want everyone to know the symptoms, because there are people out there that are depressed and they might not even know.
Yeah, half the
know.
people don't know. They just think,
So when you have a family
I'll get
member
over it.
that is lively, because most of these people actually, you will hear it on social media, she's a lively lady.
Yeah, she's so
Definitely,
friendly. She's
yeah,
always at
definitely.
parties. She's
She
this.
has been keeping to herself for a moment, for a while, and people around her are not noticing that. They are not. So that's why we all have to put our eyes out there. If you someone you see often, you haven't seen that person for a while, check on them, give them a call. Or someone that calls you often and you just discover this person no longer calls, keeping to themselves. You have to keep checking on them. Something might be going on, they might need help and
Yeah.
unable to say it out.
Of course, I agree with you. People need to look out for others because some people are depressed, they don't know it.
They don't
But
know.
if you know it, you can look out for them and be like, I didn't see you on so day. You're someone that is always here. What's going on?
What's
Are
going
you all
on?
right? You want to talk to me? Is there something you want to say? I'm here to listen to you. Talk to
Mhm.
me. Be there for them. If they're not there for themselves, you should be there for them. So they have lots of interests for guys. They no longer find pleasure in their favorite things. They feel tired easily. I know we all work and we get tired, but when you do something too little that you don't get tired of, but then all of a sudden you're tired easily, every little thing you get tired, you begin to have suicidal thoughts.
Definitely.
Societal thoughts, you need to talk
You
to
need
someone.
help.
That is the height. When you begin to think that maybe this is the end, maybe I'm not needed
And
anymore.
even suicide thoughts shouldn't even be the point of, I don't know, to solve yourself from being depressed.
Yeah,
No,
but
that
that's the
shouldn't be.
thoughts that come in. That's the behavioral part of it. That's the mood. That's the things you need to look out for. Some people have this suicidal thought but think, you know what, I'll get over it. I will be fine. I will be all right. So they think I'll just get over it. Yeah, I think about it, but I'm never going to do anything. So when you have that thought, you need to check yourself because that means you're probably getting depressed. Another thing is involving in high risk activities. These are people that, you know what, they want to do skydiving. Now they want to do things that,
That will
who
take their life
cares?
so easily.
Yeah, you see, life is short. If you die, you die. What's the big deal? Yeah, that's when they begin to say things like, I don't care. Life doesn't really make sense anymore, anyways. So let me just do this and just enjoy my life while I can. So, and that's why when people eventually commit suicide, people say, but they were at the party, like they were
They were
drinking so
lively,
much. They were the dance of the party. Like this person has never twerked at a party before.
but
She was
trekking
twerking
was
because she
actually
was
doing
doing
something
things that she will not do
extraordinary.
on a normal day. Because she's like, you know what, this is the end of it. I'm just going to do this and get it over with. So when you begin to see people that they are so conservative, they don't like to do anything that will give them wahala, and then all of a sudden it's
They just
wahala
change.
things. They just want to do anything that that puts them out there that is risky. You need to look out for those because they are all depressive symptoms. Then sexually, you see men that begin to have reduced sexual, they don't even want to have sex anymore. It's like what's the point? You know, when a guy begins to have reduced sexual desires, someone that is sexually active begins to have that lack of sexual performance, something has just decided not to rise anymore. You know, when that begins to happen, depression is setting in. And that alone can begin to make you more depressed. Because like, I used to be able to do this. Now I cannot do it anymore. It's depressive symptom. Now we have sleep, we have the cognitive part of it, inability to concentrate. You no longer do your work at work anymore. You are lagging behind. Your boss is angry at you because you're not doing your job. You should check because you might be getting depressed. Now let's look at the physical part of it. This is one thing you might be noticing, but you think, you know what, maybe it's because I work too hard. It could be fatigue, you get tired, you begin to have pain, serious headaches. When you have too much headache, it might be depression. And then you begin to have digestive problems. That's what some people, I'm always running to the toilet. I don't know what's wrong. Every time I eat something, I rush to the toilet immediately. It could be depression. These are the physical symptoms of depression. Now let's look at symptoms of depression in women. Now, there is one form of depression that women have that a lot of people don't know, especially in third world countries. A lot of people don't know that this is a thing. And it's called postpartum depression. This is the depression that women have after giving birth to children. It's some people think, well, common. It's because you are not a good mother. No. A lot of women go through postpartum depression. Like they give birth. I had a class and we were just talking in mothers in the class, we're just talking about what they went through after they gave birth to their children. And it was so interesting that some of them actually thought about committing suicide after they had their children.
Why?
Yeah, because they begin to feel like I don't think I can give this child what it takes. I think I'm worthless.
They start thinking different kind of
things. Some of them don't like their body anymore because of they look at themselves in the mirror. Some of them have added weight. Some of them the stretch marks and all of it, and it's like I'm not beautiful anymore.
For real, was that supposed to be?
But it's a thing. Postpartum depression is real, and a lot of women go through it. It's a phase, and if you're not able to talk to anyone during that period, then it's like she just had a lovely baby. How come she just killed herself? She's a bad mother, but it's not true. She was going through a phase of depression and nobody was there to help her through it. Nobody was listening to her.
She didn't know.
Yes, and some of them would not even know that they're going through postpartum depression. And sometimes it's some of these drugs that they take, some of these injections that they give it during pregnancy that just heightens the whole thing. And so there are signs of depression. Yeah, signs of depression in women, and for our mood, from women, we just get irritable. Like we get every little thing irritates us. We might not get all aggressive and angry like men, but for women, we get irritable. We start to feel sadness, emptiness, just like men. We feel hopeless. It's like my husband doesn't even listen to me anymore. And my husband doesn't love me. Yes, you begin to, is he cheating on me? Is it because I just had a child? You begin to feel sad, feel empty, feel hopeless. You become paranoid. The man has gone out and then you are thinking, maybe I'm going with another woman. Maybe you become paranoid. It could be depression. You become anxious. You're in pain. You're scared. You have phobias for things that are not even, they are not even worth it. You become depressive. Look out for it. The signs of depression. And then for women, our behavior, we begin to lose interest in activities that we like to do. Maybe you like to sew. All of a sudden, you stop making
activities you like to do.
Yeah. And for women, for someone that likes parties, you begin to withdraw from social engagement. Unlike men, even while they're depressed, they can go out, they can still go and have drinks with their buddies. But for women, your friend will call you, let's go to the salon. No, my hair, your hair is looking a mess. Let it be like that. Your nails, no, I don't want to do it. You begin to withdraw from social engagement. You should look out for that. It could be depression. Thoughts of suicide as well. Both men and women can have thoughts of suicide, which you need to look out for. Then you need to be, for cognitively, you start to think slowly. You're at a place and then you zone out. So you're having a conversation with someone, and then you just zone out.
Like
You're like
lost.
you become lost in time. You come back and it's like, I was talking to you.
What was I
Oh,
saying?
oh, what were you saying? The person's like, I just said all this.
And even you yourself, you might just be saying, "What was I saying? Did I say something?"
Did I say something? And the person's like, yes, you said something. You begin to think slowly. You begin to process slowly. It could be depression. You begin to zone out and zone in.
Yeah.
Like you're at a meeting, you're at the board meeting, and they said 30 minutes, you are gone. You are just looking like you are 30, but you are not there. You need to look out for it. Could be depression. Then you have difficulty sleeping. Unlike men, they sleep, even though they're depressed. But for women, we begin to have difficulty sleeping
And
through the
most,
night.
yeah, most men when they are depressed, they believe when they drink, when they take alcohol, that will help them to relax. That doesn't solve your problem. It
That
doesn't.
actually increases depression.
It increases it.
Alcohol on its own is a boost. It boosts your
Mhm.
depressive level when you drink alcohol. Because there are people that I heard of a particular guy that they said at the DJ that killed himself, that committed
Yeah.
suicide on Instagram. I heard that at that. According to what I heard, that at the show he was there. It was, he played his DJ thinking it was the best. It was, everybody was hyping him. They had a lot of drinks, and then he committed his suicide at night. You know what I said? I said there is very high possibility that if he had not drank that night,
He might be able to control himself,
it
right?
might be your life. Because alcohol on its own is an influencer. It influences you. So if you drank and you were already going through a whole lot, it just heightens it. So automatically you're beginning to think, maybe you're thinking before, I'm hopeless. I am useless. I cannot do this. When you drink alcohol, it's like, you know what? There's no point. I cannot even make it anymore. It heightens it. So I told people that, yes, people thought it was happy. It was doing well. He just
It might
had an
look happy,
amazing
but
party.
it's not.
It wasn't. And whatever he drank that night triggers
Yeah,
him.
let's talk about how to avoid being depressed
Okay.
because of our time. One of the way you can avoid being depressed is when you rest well. You avoid stress. A lot of people go through stress on even not even a lot of everybody goes through stress either from your work. You want to make it in life, you have to work hard, you have to do extraordinary things to make things work out for you. All of this, you think a lot of how to become rich, like Dangote, Bill Gates, and everything. All of those can make your brain stressed. But everyone who wants to avoid being depressed, they need a lot of rest.
Yes, I
We
agree
all
with
need to
you.
rest. Even sometimes I feel one side headache, and I know that, oh, I've
Doing too
stressed
much.
myself too much. I'm doing too much. I just need to rest. So this is one of the things you need to do to avoid in order for you to avoid being depressed. That's one of it. That's one of it. You avoid stress.
Because
You
stress on
avoid
its
stress.
own is, we all get stressed in our lives.
Yeah.
Everybody. Like, nobody, as long as you have a job,
As long as you want to
you're
attain a
doing
certain
something in
level,
life, you will get stressed.
stress out.
So you
So
need to look for a way
way
to
to avoid.
self-care. So if you are going through stress, I was we had a conversation in class. I had this amazing crisis intervention class, and we were talking about, my professor was talking about a lot of us that, you have all these exams and you just want to get over with.
Over
Boom,
it.
boom, boom. You have work, your life is going on,
That's
you're
one of
doing
it.
classes, you're doing all of that, and you're just
And you're
pushing your
working.
stress level. She said, and then you keep doing this. And some people realize that after their exams, they fall sick. And they wonder
They
why.
stress themselves
It's because you're pushing it.
too hard.
She said, because a lot of people push their stress forward, people like that eventually have cardiovascular diseases. They're the ones that eventually have heartburns and I was like, oh my God. And that's the truth. We students that work and do all other things, you have a family, you have a job, you have classes, you just want to get everything done.
Done.
Yes, stress would happen, but you need to take it in and self care. Do something that makes it better for you. You want to, if it's a massage, go and get a massage. If what you like to
You
do
can
to
do
self care,
exercise.
exercise.
Yeah.
If that's the way you self care, some people exercise just makes it worse for them. Like,
Me.
is
My
like
body
exercise,
aches,
yeah,
stress.
that's good,
Ooh.
but I don't advise that people exercise as a way to counter stress. Exercise is good, you exercise daily, but don't exercise as a way to counter
Cancer, no, no,
stress.
no. It's
No,
just to do it to get yourself, all your
balance.
system balanced,
You
to
exercise to
get
be balanced.
active.
Not as a, if your way of self-care is to go to the salon, let someone massage your scalp very well, my
Spa.
dear, nice spa, go and do it. Do something that takes you out of that work
Work.
mode, that takes you out of that
Take a break.
marriage mode,
Go
something that,
for
yeah.
holidays, like 3 days off work, off kids. You can put your kids with your parents and just cool off, take yourself out, relax, and just do something to cool your brain, to cool your everything. That's part of the way to ease your stress and to avoid depression. Also, diet too helps. You eat good diet,
When you're
you
healthy.
eat healthy. That will help you. It will really really help you not being depressed. A lot of stuff that you can do.
So when you talk about dieting, it's not just starving yourself. We have
No,
not said starve
no,
yourself. It is good to be healthy. It is good to,
eat healthy.
even it's the what's it called? It's not all about looking skinny.
That makes
When
you
you,
healthy,
yeah,
and it's not all about you being fat.
being fat is not even good, because if you have too much tummy fat, there are, we call obesity that
Obesity.
happens. If you have too much fat here, it can cause that. So we don't want fat, but it's not that you should not become skinny.
Skinny.
So when we say diet, we're saying eat healthy.
Healthy.
Eat vegetables. Make sure you have vitamins. Make sure do the right things.
At the right
Eat
time.
the right food. Don't eat too much after 7 p.m. Some people, after, they just
They
want to
eat
eat
about,
a band vegetable at 10.
and that stays
10 p.m. and that stays in your stomach, and then you wake up in the morning, and then you start with
That's family
me, I even like rice. I like rice very well. I can open me, I would drink water in the
I'm
morning
master
after
of
drinking.
rice.
So eat healthily,
Healthy.
so that all of these things, when
Helps
you're
you.
healthy, depression can come, but it can
Your
take race.
hormones are already,
And when you're even ready for it, when depression starts coming, it's not as if you have to fight, you have
yeah,
body image that you're
exactly,
fighting. It's not as if
exactly.
you have all these other problems that you have. When you begin to feel all kinds of, depressive symptoms, what's it called? Depressive symptoms like irritability, like aggressiveness, all those ones, that your mood begins, you feel pain here, you can begin to know what to tackle. But when you still have body image problems, and you still have
You
self-esteem
don't even know
issues,
where to start
you
from.
don't even know where to face your problem and start to tackle it.
Yeah. Then one of the ways we can avoid depression is also like sleep, rest well. Rest. A lot of us don't rest well. We don't sleep well. A lot. Some people will still be awake 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Well, I'm also guilty of that as a
We all
blogger.
are.
I stay up as a student. I stay up. We stay up to do a lot of stuff. So we need rest. We need to relax our brain. Really need to do that and avoid alcohol and drugs too, because alcohol do nothing good in your body.
So people,
It destroys
even
your
even
body.
research has said it 1,001 times.
Yeah.
Alcohol doesn't do anything for
Anything,
you. It
anything
doesn't make
good.
you better. It
It
gives you
increases your
an
sugar
ephemeral
level,
feeling. At the
everything.
minute, you feel good, and that's it. After that, it
They,
causes
they
more
don't
harm
even
than
feel
good.
good. They only feel relaxed, like sleep for a while. When you wake up, the problem continues.
Of course, it does. It doesn't
The
go
alcohol
away.
didn't take out your problem.
Doesn't.
So you just try to avoid alcohol and that. You try taking therapy and a lot of that, and you avoid something that triggers you to think unnecessarily, something that triggers you to think otherwise, out of proportion, out of normal way, you know. So those are the stuff that we can actually do, and how to avoid depression in your marriage too. That one too is there. We have some couples that, like we said last week, that when you're on the attacking side, that when your spouse try to talk to you, you attack almost immediately. You are giving the other partner a sign of depression, because She will like, oh, it's attacking me every time I speak. She's attacking me every time I speak. And the other partner that doesn't want to say anything anymore, we feel depressed. We feel
So
mood swing. Anything can come up, you know.
yeah, so talking about marriage and depression, we know that people get depressed in their marriage, and a lot of people begin to ask, how come your husband didn't see it? How come your wife didn't
They
see it?
can
What's
see
going
it.
on? This and that. Because
They're too busy.
sometimes, aside from being busy, your partner can be the reason why
The
you're
reason.
depressed. And just like she said, when one partner consistently takes a dominant
Dominance.
stand, it's like, it is what I say. I
You
don't care
understand?
what you're saying.
Your opinion don't
It
matter.
doesn't matter to me. When one person constantly takes a dominant stand, it is possible that you can push the other
The other
person
person into depression.
to depression. And you might not know it. You just think, you know what, I'm a fixer. I want things to be done immediately. I want things to be done a certain way. So it could be the woman. The woman can be the one taking the dominant stand. We're not saying the man does it all the time. There are men that are very quiet. They just let the woman do it because she's constantly, and because of that, you're pushing your husband. He's no longer
Too
talking
far.
to you because he feels, you know what, when I say something to her, she's just going to take a dominant stand. This is what I want to do. This is how it should be done. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, yes. So for couples that one person takes a dominant stand, there's a very high possibility that the other person can be pushed to depression. Now, problems in getting along as a married couple can also play a very huge role in the development of depression. If both of you don't get along, every time is fight.
Argument, disagreement every time.
Always, always. You
That's
you come home and it's like, I'm going home to meet this man. I'm going home to meet this woman.
and the
And she's
trouble.
such a nag. She's going to nag my head off. He's going to he's always going to say something. That can lead to depression. When someone constantly just keeps talking, yeah, 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 not stopping. That can, you can push the other person to get depressed. Now, husband and or wives in marriages with a lot of tension, disagreement,
Argument.
argument are 10 to 25 times more likely to experience depression. If your husband or your wife is constantly disagreeing with you, both of you can never agree on a thing. Research says you're 10 to 25 times likely to get depressed. So if you're in that marriage, my dear, I think you should better start looking for a way to either reconcile, look for a way that both of you can agree on things, or look for ways to self care because you're 10 to 25 times higher to get depressed.
So do you know when people see improvement in their marriages, that alone can reduce the tension of depression
Of course, of course.
because that means the marriage, when the marriage is not peaceful, there's tendency of having the depression.
Yeah.
So now what we're trying to say here is that when you can avoid being aggressive with your partner, too much argument, and the home is sweet, everything is going on perfectly, there's tendency for that home not to have a depression because everything is sweet. But when there's arguments all the time, fights, a lot of stuff's go on in the house. You don't even want to come home because you know when you're going home to meet a tiger. You know that anything you say is just gonna throw you out. You know, spit it out. You know that alone can make people go into depression. So we try to avoid that in our marriages. Let's try to reduce the way we argue too much, the way we talk about unnecessary things, the way you attack your partner for no reason. Let's try to call that out too in our marriages. So to avoid depression.
And there are people, just agreeing with you, there are people that are depressed outside of their marriage. Like the
Definitely.
marriage is not the reason why they're depressed, but other things are causing the depression. Maybe it could be an external factor, say work, say, it could be anything. It might not be the marriage that's causing them to be depressed, but the marriage can help
Oh,
and improve their depressive symptoms. So, say someone is depressed from work. If he or she has an amazing partner, as someone that is supportive, a partner that listens, a
and
partner that
understands
cares,
that
a partner
cares.
that is there, the possibility of their depressive symptom improving by getting better is very high.
Oh,
So don't say, well, I'm not the one causing the depression. Is
She
it my
already had
problem?
it.
She already had it before we even got married. She already,
No. It can be of help to
you can
reduce it, to
be
improve it.
of huge help to improve it. Now, I want to quickly talk about the causes of depression. We have talked about how to avoid it. We have talked about the symptoms to look for. But there are things that cause it. And people are like, I don't know why I'm depressed. I don't get it.
You
I'm
have
doing
some
everything that I should be doing, but I'm seeing these symptoms in my life and I'm trying to avoid it. But why am I depressed? Now, these are things that can cause depression.
depression.
One of it is it can, and the funny thing is it can range from being biological to circumstantial. That is, it can just be a circumstance. Something can just happen and make you depressed, and it could be from your, you know,
Hereditary.
from your gene. So one of the things we're going to be talking about is family history. If of fact it's like cancer, when someone in the family
Family.
has cancer,
It's
there is a
hereditary
high, everybody in that
tendency.
family is high risk. Like there's a possibility
Mm.
that everybody in the family can have cancer. So it's the same thing with depression. If one person in that family is depressed, there is a very high risk that everybody can get depressed. So if you're getting depressed, you can sit and think, oh, my great aunt was depressed. Oh, my great uncle was depressed. Oh, my dad had depression. So it could be anything in your family. It might not be anything you're doing. It could just be from the family, the gene
Family
that you've
history.
had, the epigenome that comes on and comes off. So it could be something in your family history that that's allowing you to get depressed. Another thing is early childhood trauma. There are kids that have been traumatized as a child. They've gone through
A
things that
lot.
is,
Especially from a divorced home.
yeah,
They've seen dad beating up mom, mom beating up
from an
dad, a lot
abusive
of
home.
stuff
Yeah.
from abusive home. You know,
And it could be a
like
stressful situation for them. So as a child, they've
they
seen
were
all of
unable to
this.
cope.
And the funny thing is, our brain is amazing. Our brain is so amazing. Our brain does amazing things that I'm telling you, you can choose to block things that you don't want to remember.
Remember.
And your brain will do it so perfectly well that they will be in your short term memory, like you will not remember
But you
them.
know, as a kid, they remember everything.
That's why I
When
said,
anything
that's
happens
why I
when you're a
said,
kid, there's tendency of you remembering it
yeah, but if it's
for a lifetime.
traumatizing, you might not remember it. And that's why some people need to, there's a word we use in clinical psychology that I cannot remember right now, but some people need to open the layers and recover
Yeah.
that memory because it's so traumatizing for them that they've blocked it
They
out.
don't want to
And
remember
just
it.
like you said avoiding triggers. One thing can trigger it, and then maybe this
They
person is
remember.
40 years old and he's like,
Remember what
and then they
happened.
begin to get depressed. They begin to get depressed. So anything from early childhood memory to your family history can cause depression.
Yeah.
So for a child, maybe you don't even remember it happened. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, I
Something
think
just
something happened. It could be in music,
I can
it could
just
be
lay my hands on
anything.
it. Something
But
happened.
something happened and then it becomes traumatizing for that child. They begin to become depressed. Another thing is the brain structure. Like I said, there's a greater risk for depression if the frontal lobe of your brain is less
Yes.
active. However, scientists don't know if this happens before or after
After
the
the
onset
effect
of
of
depressive
depression symptoms.
symptoms. But because of your brain structure, it's not your fault that your frontal lobe has refused
How
to
would you
be.
know if your frontal lobe is less? How would you know? God save us.
Well, you will know, I guess. And because of that, that can cause depression. It's not your fault. It just
Yeah.
happened that has happened. And then depression sets in. Another thing is medical conditions.
Mm.
Certain conditions may put you at the higher risk
Risk
of,
of being depressed.
yeah, such as chronic illness, people that have insomnia, chronic pain, people that have ADHD, that's attentive deficit hyperactive disorder. People that have ADHD are also at higher risk of getting depressed because your ADHD people are always hyperactive. And if you have an ADHD number one that wasn't diagnosed, you didn't get diagnosed as a
Sometimes
child, and then on time, and then you don't get help for your ADHD, there's a very high possibility that such person will get depressed because you're just jumping around. You want to do
being
things.
over hyper.
You're hyperactive. So there is also a very high possibility of getting
And
depressed.
in Africa, when you are over hyper, they say you take too much sugar.
Yeah, Yeah,
They better check
sugar
that out.
sugar is one of, even here in America, sugar is one of the things that can trigger. Too much sugar causes that as well. Yeah, and I heard at a particular time that research said, and they did a study on it, and it's like all these colorings in food has allowed a lot of children, because a lot of children have ADHD, and they've related it to the colorings in food and sugar and all of that. Let your child eat healthy
Healthy.
if you don't want them to have ADHD. Now we have drug use. Drug use is another thing that can cause it. If you're someone that smokes marijuana, you take cocaine, you use all of this, you misuse drugs, there's a high possibility that you can get depressed. Low self-esteem. People that don't think they can amount to anything. Everybody's higher than them in their face. Someone is talking, I can't talk, I don't want to talk because people will make jest of me. Low self-esteem can lead to depression. You need to work on it. You need to talk to someone about it. You need to grow through it. I know someone that was telling me about, she said every time she smiled, she would cover her mouth because she didn't think she had this perfect set of teeth. So she was thinking, no, I need to cover my mouth and all of that. And because she realized it sooner, she was like, you know what? I'm gonna get braces. I need to get this fixed. I don't want to cover my mouth every time. I need to put myself out there. So, whatever your self-esteem issue is it your body? Go to the gym. You want to look hot? Go to the gym. Do something. Take flat tummy, whatever they take, and look good. Work on yourself. Whatever your self-esteem issue is, don't let it put you down because it can lead to depression.
You should even be proud of yourself, whatever cancer you have.
There are people that say, you know what, I don't like my body the way it is. I'm going to go get what's it called? This surgery they do.
Okay.
Yeah, and they say, you know what, I don't mind paying a lot of money. I just don't like how I look. That's why I don't fault people that go through stuff like that. It's your problem. As long as you're
Not
healthy
mine.
and you choose, it's not mine. I'm not paying the money to look good. I'm grateful for how I look. So if you think you want to look better and you think you have the money to do it, be my guest. It's your problem. It's your life. As long as you're healthy and you're alive, let's be grateful to God. So we have personal history as well. People that have personal history of mental illnesses. I said it before, when someone gets depressed, it doesn't go away. There are ways to avoid it. There are ways to treat it.
You can be on medication.
Yeah, but it doesn't really go away. So if you've had
It
previous,
can only improve.
yeah, it can improve. You can get better. Irritability can stop. Some things can reduce, but depression never really goes away. So you just need to, if you've had previous illness, even if when you go to see a therapist, they let you know, okay, let us know if you've had those before because it puts you at high risk, and we need to be able to know how to help you. So all of these things, sometimes it's not your fault, sometimes it's your fault, other times you just need to do more. And it's important, like we've said, you need to do a lot of self-care.
We have we haven't read.
Oh, we have things that we are supposed to be doing and how we should go about it. Before we end the show, we have
Safi.
yes, we have Safi here on the show. Safi, thank you for joining us. Lizzie, thank you. We didn't say this for a while.
I'm telling you, we didn't even check the screen.
Safi said, when we talk about depression, some signs must alert and lead to consulting a professional. And because it's not a simple cockroach, and that's why, just like we said, all those things you can do, but you need to see a therapist. A therapist is one of the treatments.
That's why we all have to look out for our neighbors.
Yeah, some people need to stay on medication. You need to go out, talk to a psychiatrist, and get medicated.
Some people are depressed and they do not know. That's the funniest thing. Is when you know you're depressed, you seek for help. But when you do not know, how do you seek for help? That's the most annoying thing, part of it. It's so annoying. We have to look out for ourselves.
Yeah, and another way to treat it is learn to say no. Like, learn to say no to people. Some people are so overwhelmed. You are the go-to person. You are the fixer. Nobody's ready to fix you. You are fixing everybody else. You need to learn to say no. You need to learn to say, you know what? I think I want to take a step back. You know what? I don't like how I'm feeling right now. I think I need to get better. I think I need to treat myself. I think I need to care more for myself. You need to learn to say no. Therapy is great. You need to talk to a therapist. That is important. Talking therapy is very good when you're depressed. Medication is awesome, but please also learn to say no. Safi also said, depression is a disabling moral suffering that disrupts relationship with family, friends, and professionals. I totally agree with you because that's the truth. It is disabling to people. Like, you're at work, you are this awesome person. And when depression sets in, you
You
just
change.
become,
Everything change
there's
about
a
you.
barrier to even to your relationship, the people you're close with, your friends, your family, your your partner, your professional colleagues. There's just a barrier there.
You
It's
don't stop doing what you like
all
to
the
do.
amazing things that
You
you've been
stop
doing.
communicating. You keep to yourselves. Just a
And,
lot of stuff
and
you have never been
people
doing
are so
before.
terrible that they're like, oh, it's just a face. Oh,
Mm.
she'll be fine. No, it just doesn't go away like that. If this person is going through stuff, be there for them.
That's
Ask
why
questions.
we said this earlier when we started the show. Like on social media, many people put it out there before actually committing suicide. Many people will say that, oh, I think I'm depressed. And people will be there laughing
Mocking
at
them.
them, mocking them, saying all sort of stuff. So people might even say, come to my house and get otapia to kill
Uh-huh.
yourself. A lot of stuff, this is not what they need at this time. They are not joking with it.
They're
They are
not.
serious. We need to help them out. You need to call people who you haven't seen for a while. Check on them, especially those of us in diaspora. You don't know what's happening to your neighbors over there. You don't see them often. Check on them. Do a lot of stuff. This is how we can help each other. A lot of things is going on. Financial issue might make a lot of people be thinking.
And people don't like to talk about it. Everybody's
Definitely.
everybody's just hiding themselves and keeping in their own corner. Nobody wants to talk about it. So you need to push them to talk about it so they can seek the help that they
And
need.
check out for the signs we
Yeah.
mentioned. Check out for those signs.
Sophie said healing from depression requires time and patience. I agree with you.
Definitely.
It does. And just like you said, it's improvement. You
It takes
improve.
time.
It takes time, it takes patience, and it takes hard work. You have to be willing to work and to do it.
And suicide is never a thing we should think of.
People think about it, but
We should not
if you
even
know you're
think that's the
thinking about it,
solution.
you know it's not a solution. It's not.
It's
But
not.
if it's happening, you need to talk to someone. And that's what we're saying. See a therapist. Talk to a therapist.
Ade Omoba, welcome on the show.
Thank you for joining us. We're almost it's almost at the end of the show. To round it off, I'm just going to be saying, take care of yourself. Take care of
Take care.
yourself. You can improve your symptoms. You'll see the symptoms. You can improve it by, you know, taking absolute care of yourself. You matter. You are the best version of yourself. Love yourself. Get plenty of sleep. If they come and knock on your door, you sleep too much. Thank you. I want to rest. Yes, get plenty of sleep. When you die, when anything happens to you, people will keep going. So you are the best friend of yourself. You love yourself.
Watch out for yourself.
Yes, look out for you. You should get your own back. You should have your own back. Get enough sleep. Eat healthy diet. Eat right. Whatever you want to eat, eat it. Eat right. Eat healthily.
good.
Eat good. Eat salad. Eat whatever you want to eat. Eat healthily. It is important. Avoid negative people. All those people that every time they see you like this, they are just looking for trouble.
That never appreciate
They don't
whatever you
appreciate
do.
anything you do.
Get
They
yourself off them. Cut them off.
cut negative people out of your life.
Cut them
If you
off.
have that friend that every time they see you, nothing is good about you
They
in
will
their
increase,
face,
they will increase your level of depression.
they will increase your level of anxiety. All those friends that all they want to do is show you the latest bag and show you the latest shoes
oppress
and
you.
to oppress you, my dear. You
Take
better
a
run
run.
away from them. Avoid negative people and participate in enjoying
Things that will get
activities.
you busy, get you out of thinking unnecessarily.
You want to go to the
Get
movies,
busy. Cool
my
off.
dear? Go out of the house and go to the movies and enjoy yourself. You don't need a man to
Take
take you out. You
vacation.
don't need a woman to take you out. Need a particular meal that you want to enjoy. Take yourself out and enjoy it, because honestly, you are the best version of yourself, and you have your best interest in mind. Nobody's gonna have your best interest in mind like you. So your best interest can only be from you. So love yourself, enjoy yourself, do activities that you want to do. And
That's
sometimes
something.
just turn the world out, just shut the world out. Shut their dirty mouth and their dirty noise and all those social media nonsense. Take it out of the way and enjoy yourself, because again, life is short. But then we have to enjoy it while we're here. Get the best out of it. Be the best version of ourselves. And you know what?
Everything will be good.
Everything will be all right. Um, Today we've talked about
A lot of stuff.
a lot of stuff from the symptoms to how to avoid it to how what causes it and the treatments and depression. We can never finish talking about depression. In fact, depression
Very
should be an
broad.
episode. We should have
It's a
episode
very
one, episode two,
broad,
episode
very
three.
broad topic.
It is a very broad topic. And hopefully we would bring someone on the show that's going to be an expert someday and they will be able to talk,
More.
from a clinical perspective about depression. And that time you get a better angle of it and we get to learn more
More.
and more because we're all learning. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. We appreciate
Really
your
do
presence.
appreciate your presence
Thank you,
today.
Safi. Thank you, Adil Moba. Thank you, Lizzie.
Lizzie.
We appreciate you for joining us today. We're looking forward to your comments as well and to your opinions always. We always do. Follow us on Niger Extreme Media, right? On YouTube.
On YouTube, follow us on Niger Extreme TV.
Okay.
On Instagram, Niger Extreme Media. On Facebook, Niger Extreme. On Twitter, Niger Extreme.
Follow us and
You can also send us the topic and whatever you want us to treat on the show. You can send it to us via our email nigerextreme1@gmail.com. We'll be so glad to treat and to talk more about it. Thanks everyone for joining us today.
and have a lovely weekend. It's going to snow today. We're looking
Yeah,
forward
it's
to
gonna
it.
snow.
So have a lovely weekend.
You really want to get stuck in the house, right?
I wanted to snow.
I don't want to go to work on Monday. Have a
Bye.
blessed day, guys. See you.